The Torah is holy and divine, but also relevant and timely, and there's a great example in this week's Parshat Bo. This learning is the merit of my grandmother, Esther Bat Shaul, may her neshama have an aliyah. So this week's Parsha is a continuation of the famous Passover story. As we know, the Jewish people have been enslaved in Egypt for hundreds of years, backbreaking labor, not thinking about spirituality at all, and Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, is sent to deliver them from bondage. And so God calls upon Moses. Moses goes to Pharaoh, asks Pharaoh to let the people go, and he refuses. And so the 10 plagues happen. So we had the first 7 in last week's Parsha, and we have the last 3 in this week's Parsha, which is locust, darkness, and death of the firstborn. The Torah records that as the events of the Passover story are happening, Moshe and God are also telling the Jewish people that the events of what happened here will be recognized forever. You shall observe this as an institution for all time for you and your descendants. We have it 3 times said. When you're celebrating the holiday of Passover in the future, and your child asks you, what do you mean by this? You shall say, you shall explain to your child, it's because of what God did for me in Egypt. And when in time your child asks you, what does this mean? You shall answer. 3 times. The Jewish people are being instructed to do 2 things. 1, become educators. Of course, we know education is a very important Jewish value. Jews created the first compulsory community-funded education program around the Second Temple period. And 2, to make sure that their own children have an understanding of what came before them, to have an understanding of the story of the Jewish people. There's all these studies that children who know about their family story, who have grounding in their family story, have a much stronger sense of identity, stronger confidence. They just do generally better because they understand the context from which they came. An educated person is a free person. And what have the Jewish people not had the entire time that they were enslaved in Egypt? Freedom. So of course, in the Passover story, Cherut, freedom is a big concept that we speak about. The Jewish people were not controlling when they ate or slept or took a break or worked or anything. And so it's so meaningful that the first mitzvah that the Jewish people are given upon leaving Egypt, or when they're about to leave Egypt, is the mitzvah of keeping time. The mitzvah of Rosh Chodesh, of being in charge of your time. So powerful here. They finally have control over the time. They finally are able to mark time. So we see here, this month shall mark for you the beginning of months. It shall be the first of the months of the year for you. So this month is Nisan in the spring. Nisan is known as the Rosh Hashanah, the first of the year for months. So again, the mitzvah of Rosh Chodesh started here before being freed from Egypt. Education makes you free. Having control over your time makes you free. And these are really important concepts that the Jewish people do not take for granted. It's just a great reminder. Shabbat Shalom.